Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I wanted to talk to you about the narcissist and how they see you and how they feel when you glow up. So let's jump in. So the narcissist is a piece of shit. Really, once you leave them and you get over the trauma bond, you get over the rumination, because you've had so much time to think about it, you understand how people are, whether they think they want to come back or they think they can come back. You're like, just stay at home, please, because you wouldn't wish that a raggedy ass on anybody. Really, your worst enemy. I just dated you for a while. Yeah, I liked you at the time, but I'm completely over it. It's been so many years, and now you're bothering me, and your husband or your ex-husband. They got married and divorced in like a year, and looking at prison time. And I'm like, whatever, man. Do what you do, but that's how it is. Kind of like when you met them, you felt they were high value. At least when you met them, they looked high value and seemed to have some sort of moral ability. But when you kind of reflect from what you've been hearing lately, they're crack fiends. They be smelling like sulfur or something. And that's kind of how it is. When you pull your energy back, your fuel, and you were a chosen source of supply, you're trying to spread goodness, okay? And when they were around you and they were in a relationship with you, they got to experience that. And because you walked in humility, they not only took advantage of it, but they didn't respect it. They don't respect you. They only respect people when you cut them off. Then they're forced to. But a lot of times they'll try to sabotage you and take you down because they're falling apart. It doesn't work if you know what you're doing, but it's just a sad situation for them, Whatever. Have at it. Y'all need to take care of yourselves. You guys put yourself in a bunch of BS, and you're moving on in your new beginnings with your new person. After you healed up, you spent a couple of years, you went inside and you did some hermit mode. Maybe then was a time they could have came back. Maybe then they could have maybe had the chance to try to sneak back in. It wouldn't have been good, so you're blessed if you got out of it. Being with a narcissist is like being in the middle of a cult. I'm afraid mine actually wasn't a word. She was in a cult after she left me eventually, and everybody played her. And that's what happens when you play people. You end up getting played and looking like a donkey. And that's why it's good to stay humble, because when you're humble, you're able to visualize things for what they are and really focus in on them without some pompous ego attitude where you're refusing to see certain things. And that's how the narcissist is. They underestimate their opponent, for one thing. A lot of times they'll mock and make fun of you and stuff, but they don't know who you are. A lot of times you were just the way you were because you were walking in humility. They think you're dumb, you're stupid, you don't know anything. The fact of the matter is you knew a whole lot more than them. And you weren't naive, they were. And you didn't want to hurt their feelings. That's why you accepted a lot of their conversational pieces. They were very much naive. And you tried to impart to them good information, good knowledge and wisdom and understanding to help them along their way, as well as helping them heal what you could, because you needed healing too if you were with a narcissist. And they rejected it all. They reject it all, or in their hard-headed, stiff-necked person, they will run it through their idiotic satanic factory and they'll turn it around and shoot you with your own fuel. They be laughing at you in these parties where they're mocking you and laughing at you when the whole city's talking about you because you took down a whole cult. You're a cult buster. When you become a cult buster, they ain't gonna be laughing at you no more. Just the sound of your name makes them run and hide. They start flinching. You're the type of person that can walk in a room and read that in one shot, just one quick glance. You know what you're dealing with. You know who's who, and all masks fall off. And that's how you become. That's what you turn into. If you hone this stuff the right way, they'll be studying you. They won't believe it. They'll be mesmerized because You were never what they imagined you were in their stupid fantasy, in their illusion, in their ego self. The ego self is a lower self, period. Now, sometimes they do a lot of times work out of some sort of logic, but they have no common sense. So, without common sense and a higher sense of thinking, like your innate true self, they're like complete folly, their ego. And they end up playing each other. I mean, I think like the one I was with, I think she's locked up in her own home now, and she's got some cult leader keeping her captive or something. I don't know. Get feelings like about that. And I mean, I could be wrong. She was an evil witch, though, to me anyway. That's how you got to look at things. You got to look at things as how they left you. If they come back and tell you they changed, man, they ain't changed. They're still an evil witch. They sabotage themselves, always. They're built to sabotage themselves. Yes, they terminate empaths that are unawoke, they're unaware. But once you've been through the sabotage a couple times and you understand what narcissism is, you smarten up. What you were doing and what you were taught to do is you could have been a genius, but you were taught to hold everything back. Your gifts, your fruit, your anointing, your mantle. Some of us learn to let it all out. Just let nature flow. Let everything ebb and flow between you. When you let that stress go, you're not trying to regulate anybody. You're not trying to be around toxic people. You know how to evade them. You have built boundaries and you learn to love yourself. So you stay away from toxic individuals at all costs. Because a lot of them are criminals anyway. They're pathological liars, cheaters. They're thieves. They're backbiters. And they have no loyalty. As soon as they walk out the door, they're ready to turn you in for something. Backbiters are people that, listen, this is the thing, they'll be cheating, lying, stealing, and thieving. Stuff like that, right? And they'll try to turn you into the law because you didn't sharpen your pencil today. I mean, really, that's how minute the things that they will get on you about. But when you sit back and you look at them fools, those crusty, dusty bitches, especially after you woke up and you're able to examine them like an x-ray in like a few seconds and know everything about them, they're a waste of energy. They're just morons. Legit idiots. I think most of the time you don't have to do anything but sit back and let the idiot destroy themselves. Because they will. Because if they don't get attention from you, they can't handle it. They're so stupid. But what you'll do is you'll continue to learn certain things that will help you out from learning what narcissism is and how to evade them. It's pretty much all you have to know. They're idiots and you want to evade them at all costs by any means necessary. That's why you can't be in an environment with narcissists and heal. It's just frustrating. They're like a demon. You're more on the curb of working on being a little bit more angelic, higher self. I'll just say that. And you're trying to coexist with each other. Demons are ridiculous. They're petty. Captain Petty Pants. That's what they are. And they're relentless. They'll do whatever it takes to get some sort of validation. Oh, you're great. You're awesome. It's like if you live with them, you just want to run downstairs and just throw a bunch of words like that at them so that you might would pump them up a little, but you're not giving them any of your energy and then run back upstairs and see how long it lasts. But the narcissists they're just toxic wreck. They're like a toddler, a toxic toddler. That's what they are. They're immature. They have a dirty diaper and they smell like it. They're dusty and disgusting. You can't trust them for nothing. And you can convince them to do anything. And that's how they are partners. They're like prostitutes. The person with the most supply wins. The person with the most money buys the narcissist. And the narcissist is always up for sale. You do not want your spouse to be a person that's up for sale at all times. That means that anybody could come to them and offer them money or a dinner or something if they would trade it for intercourse or whatever. And they'll do it if the price is right, because they don't have loyalty. They're not concerned with ethics, values, and morals. They're all about the 3D. Whatever they see, if it's pretty, they want it. If it shines, they want it. And they'll do anything to get it, as long as they don't have to work hard for it. And generally, that's to be a bitch ass. I mean, that's pretty much what it takes to get things on that level. So when you don't have loyalty and you'll do anything to get items and objects or somebody for a short time, because they're an object too. Everything is an object to them. They don't care. And what makes humanity successful, what makes them have worth and equity, are morals, values, and loyalty, ethics. Things that you live by, and you've drawn the line in the sand. Ethically, I will only go so far when it comes to this situation. And the narcissist doesn't have a line drawn in the sand. For the right price, they'll do any drug, and they will have sex with anybody for the right price, leave any relationship and jump to another, not even care what your emotions are going through. And they will spit on you and mock you and run away or walk away with their pompous, arrogant ass. But you know what's funny is they're arrogant. They're the epitome of arrogance. To define arrogance at its worst is a narcissist. But they define everything that's evil to its height. They walk away the most arrogant individual on the face of the planet. But then they're always the one to come back and fake being humble. And you can still see right through it. I mean, even when you took them back, you just accepted it because they were stupid. That's kind of what you thought. They're stupid. Please don't do anything else. I mean, I know, and there is an energy from when a narcissist, when you have somebody that's an empath and a demon, for some reason there is some sort of energy there that draws you all together. But when you heal, you level up several times over, and you see the dusty narcissist living out of a shelter, and they're still pompous, arrogant, and they got a needle hanging out of their arm, and they're prostituting for some chump change. Just keep it moving, y'all. Because if you took them back and cleaned them up from that day you meet them on the street looking like that, as soon as you clean them up, get them out of the car wash, they'll be mocking you, spitting on you, and their pompous ass will walk away mocking you, taking anything they can. They're cowards. Because only cowards don't have loyalty and don't live by a set of standards. They're not committed to anything. And who I feel for more than anybody in the situation is their children. Because what I dealt with, I wouldn't wish on anybody's child to look to as a mother. Couldn't do it. And glow up, level up. You were the best thing they ever had. And what they have now is not what they wanted. You were the one that they wanted. You were their life's fulfillment. They just didn't treat you right. And what they have now is just some opportunity. And it's not going very well. Chances are they're with another narcissist that's nuts, and they're controlling the hell out of them and abusing them and using them, and they probably have lost the rights to their children, and they're probably out of a job, and half of them can't hold the job down for very long, and then A lot of them lose homes and cars and things when they mess with somebody that's a chosen source of supply, because you gave them everything and you cared and you loved truly and you wanted to just shine your light and let them abide with you in it with reciprocity. And they not just failed you, they sold you out for 30 pieces of silver or less. They sold you out for a couple of bucks. And they walked away mocking you, laughing, and hopped in the car, only to find that they were going to be with a greater narcissist, one that was going to abuse the hell out of them, take them for everything they had, take their titles and strip them of them, take their children and strip the children from them. They were going to mock them, abuse them, and use the hell out of them, make them their slave, and leave them in the gutter when they are all done with them. It's sad, it's unfortunate. But when a narcissist is fixed, they're fixed. They couldn't even apologize to you. And these are the things that come to them because they're hard-hearted. They'll say, oh, I'm avoidant. You're not an avoidant. You're too pompous to address an apology. You can't come to somebody, look them in their face, and say, I'm sorry, I was wrong, because you don't give a damn still. And that's why it hurt us so much, and that's why when we let go, we let go. And what you're getting now is all the stuff that we went through with you, and it's unfortunate. But this world's like, when you get karma, reap what you sow. You always catch it when you least expect it. And when you reflect back, see, when we reflect back, we can live with ourselves. But when you reflect back, well, you guys don't give a damn. But when you reflect back, if you even bothered to, you would realize how much of an asshole you were. How much of a pompous jackass you were. And you treated us as second class, if you even call it that, much lower, like the scum of the earth. When we were the best one in your camp, you treated us like an outcast, like we were garbage. And then you have the gall to want to come back and not even have done any work with all these problems, because you know they get worse as they age. So when they come back after having 2 other cycles with somebody and you're recovering, then they come back, right? Well, now they're an addict. They lost their kids, and they have nothing financially. And of course, they're older. You're older. You know, their looks ain't. It's just they're worn out. Narcissists get worn out. And they get so much action downstairs. It gets worn out too. And then you just don't trust them. You don't know what they caught, what they have. They got stuff, generally speaking. And they ain't going to tell you. They're not going to tell you because they're dishonest. And they're disheartened individuals. And they don't give a damn. And when you glow up, they might talk about you every day. They may think about you every day. Because it's kind of like this. They hate that they love you. They hate that they love what they see in you. And that's how it is. Because there's 2 things in there. There's the shitty, and then there's the very nice sometimes. The devil and the nice, respectful person. But there's no in between for for one thing. So it's either you get the nice person or they flip out on you over like, you're like, jeez, that's how you get walking on eggshells because there is no middle ground. It's like nice or crazy and flipping out. It's like nice or rage. So when you're in between an individual regulating, and you're regulating them because you got to operate a certain way and accept a certain type of demeanor that's coming from them and absorb whatever comes your way so you can regulate them so they don't flip out and get crazy on you. So you do that by being fake yourself, by acting the way that you need to regulate the stressors that they just brought home. And a lot of times the stressors are they just cheated on you. They've been lying and talking behind your back all day. And it wasn't to defend you. It was to sabotage you and degrade you. This is how shitty the narcissist is. And, you know, the thing is you're willing to go to bat for them during that time. You're willing to sacrifice yourself to protect them, to back them up by any means necessary without even hearing the story. And that's why you have so much domestic abuse and violence, because when you care about someone, you're willing to go to bat for them when you're empathic. And a lot of times you don't have to know a whole lot. But if you're being played, you'll find out later that you got yourself caught up. I mean, if you're even breathing later, that you got yourself caught up in you could have some violent situation that either was told to you by the narcissist or they set you up in because they want to live their criminal lifestyle and they don't care. And of course, they're going to sit back and you're going to be the one to catch all the bullets and get stuck by all the knives and get caught up in all of the law-driven paperwork or get behind bars. And you thought you were protecting them. I'm just throwing this out there because this is stuff you saw on those police shows, really. I mean, if you were to go back and ask them, some of them have dealt with it like this. And do you think the narcissist cared to bail them out or to do anything? No. They only care about themselves. They don't care about their children. They'll send them to the adoption agency for all they care. So they can be a drug fiend and be in a cult. But anyway, when you glow up, they're going to realize you were the best thing they ever had. And they can't get it back. So till next time, stand tall, soldier up. Peace out. Love y'all. Yeah.